Hey guys, welcome back to Gone with the Whisk. This morning I am putting away some groceries and cleaning my kitchen pretty well. Alright, I went shopping, got some stuff to make videos with for you guys, got stuff to eat just when I don't feel like cooking, and so I'm putting all that away. In the video you can see my little dog, a Shih Tzu named Windsor, also known as Winnie, Win-Win, Winnie Boy, and His Grace, the Duke of Windsor. You also see my gray cat, Monty, and my white-ish cat, Oscar. They all get along fairly well. Windsor is about a year and a half old now. Oscar is probably 2 years old, and Monty. How old is Monty now? I've had him since 2018, and he was a year old then, so about 6 years old. Here's this Dolly Parton plate from my mom that at first I thought, oh, is that a cute gift? Because she knows I like Dolly Parton and stuff. But then I'm pretty sure it was a not so subtle hint that she wants a Dolly Parton birthday cake. So we'll see. Let's get everything put away. I have that little cart on Amazon. I used to live on an apartment building downtown, and I lived on the fourth floor, and I used that all the time to get groceries from my car across the parking lot, through the lobby, up the elevator, down the hall to my apartment, and then back and forth and taking out trash and stuff. I don't use it quite as much now that I live in a house, but it is pretty handy, especially on days where I've just really worn out and tired and my joints hurt. It's easy to just take that outside to my car, dump all my bags in there, and drag it up the steps. And it just folds away. They're on Amazon for like $25, $30. Not bad. Putting away the sugar in the airtight containers. Keeps it from spilling, keeps any moisture out. Let's see. The cabinet's not wanting to close there. Alright. Oh, and I have this sparkly disco ball cup that I found at a rummage sale a few weeks ago. Right. Now it's time to start cleaning. So I had all this stuff on my table. I smushed all my table settings back. But I realized it's all kind of dusty. So I'm going to take it all off, wipe everything down, and dust off the table. I collect jadeite pieces, mostly reproductions. Oh, knocked a ball off. Didn't break, thankfully. But I collect jadeite. And I have a theory that if I keep my table, like, set, like, plates, cups, salt, pepper shakers, all that stuff, if I keep it set, I won't use it just as a dumping ground. And for the most part, that's true. I don't have a lot of counter space, as you can see where those Walmart bags are. That's my counter space. So when I bring in groceries and stuff, I do wind up using my table. But now I'm just wiping everything down, get the dust off of it, and setting it all back up. I don't know what these little animals are doing, But they are just walking around and around aimlessly, it looks like. I bet you the cats were hanging around the birds at this point, and Windsor's walking around looking at them. Yeah. So when you see me do my cooking videos, I actually have a camera attached to the cabinet above my stove there, and it's pointed down at the stove. So everything I'm doing is right there. Eventually, I'm going to get one of those big butcher block stove covers, so that videos that aren't using like the stove, not cooking on the stove, can still be filmed there and not look weird. Like when I'm not making lemonade on top of my stove or something like that. But for now, just make do with what I have. Right. Figure out where to put that basket because it's been floating around my house for weeks, moving from room to room. And I was going to clean off the stove. This Windsor with the tablecloth on his head. Alright, just gonna sweep up some big clumps of dog hair, and a little bit of trash was on the floor. It's very hard to sweep and clean with all the animals running around. Normally, if I'm doing like a deep clean, I will lock the three of them upstairs and then clean and mop really well and then let them back down. But today I was just doing a light general cleaning. My mop head was kind of dirty, so I washed it pretty well. Now I'm dumping this water outside. And all the animals run to the back door to watch me. And now I'm back. Just spray that, get any dirt that's left in there out of it. Alright. So, I'm not trying to get super clean. I mean, after all, the dog is walking over it. But there's some stuff that got spilled in front of the fridge that just needs to be wiped away. Here we go. I love the spin mop, but right after I bought it, the company released the new kind that has a separate water tank for the clean and dirty, and I wish I waited to buy that, but now it's like $60 for that, so I'm just going to stick with what I have. And now it's time for a dance break with the cat. I think I'm listening to... Oh, and that's where I realized I stepped on the wet floor. But now I've already done it, so might as well keep going. Checking the air purifier filter. And emptying the tank. It's an air purifier / dehumidifier. Wash that out pretty well. I guess algae builds up in there pretty easily. And you'll notice every time I walk over there now, I just about slip. but already stepped on the floor, so I might as well keep going. Let's clean the front of that. It got a little bit grimy for some reason. And clean my whiteboard too. And some bird supplies. Now I'm from the coffee station in my living room. I'm getting my tea kettle, rinsing that out, trying to smell if there's any weird algae smell. I don't really like this kettle because it has got a metal coil inside, and so you can't really clean the bottom of it because a scrub brush won't get around it. So I typically wash it out, and then I pour some water and vinegar inside, and then I run that through the or I heat that up in the kettle and let that just kind of disinfect stuff. And now I'm getting my Keurig tank and doing the same. I always smell, make sure it's not like algae or anything growing, weird smells, because if so, then I'll just run it through the dishwasher. But if it's just, clean water, I just run it through like that. I just rinse it out. And the Scrub Daddy scrubbers are super handy. Easier on my hands than a regular scrub brush. Oh, where did I go? Even all the animals disappeared. Where did we go? There I am. Refill it with water, put it back in place. And now I'm making a cup of coffee. Making sure the air fryer is cleaned. And I'm going to get the kettle. And I realized that I ran the kettle and the Keurig at the same time. So now I have to go outside and flip a breaker. And all the animals follow me. Back and forth and back and forth. Right. So that kettle's cleaned out. I'm just going to rinse it with some water, get rid of the vinegar. And I'm just washed a few little dishes by hand here. Tea pitcher and such. Windsor, if you notice, he follows the cats around. He was actually basically raised by my cats, and he thinks he's a cat. I'm pretty sure he acts like one. He gets on their nerves really bad, though. Like, he'll want to play, and they're trying to sleep. Ugh. Alright. Trying to... Oh, and now the dishwasher just ended, so let's go ahead and put stuff up. I didn't really give it time for the heat cycle to finish, or the dry cycle, so I'm just gonna wipe down a few things. But as you can see, my kitchen area is so small that having my dishwasher open takes up the entire kitchen and the walkway. When I looked at this house before I moved in, for some reason I didn't pay any attention to the kitchen. And I imagined like a whole different layout for some reason. And then when I rented it, realized it only has one drawer. You see right there beside my oven, that little knob sticking up above that tiny cabinet door. It's about big enough for like a roll of saran wrap to go in. That is the only drawer I have in my kitchen. Let's fix my cup of coffee. Added in some caramel and some oat milk. Everything put away. Right after this, I thought I had a few more things off to the side that I needed to run through the dishwasher. I thought that I actually put them in the dishwasher and ran it. Or that I put them in the dishwasher and put a dish tab in, and then stepped away for a moment and came back and saw, oh, I didn't turn the dishwasher on. So I ran it and came back later, and I was in the kitchen as the light went off, like the clean light came on, and I opened it up and I realized that I only thought that I filled it again, that I never put anything in there. It was an empty dishwasher I just ran. Oh gosh. I'm washing out the Brita filter. And I have completely forgotten about my cup of coffee right there. It's starting to get a little cool, but I've got the kitchen just about clean. Just wiping down a few bits of counter and the sink. These are some Mardi Gras cups. If you're not from, Louisiana or the Gulf Coast, in the Mardi Gras parade, they throw beads and little toys and stuff. A lot of companies will have their logos printed on cups, and they'll throw out from the floats, and people around here kind of go crazy for them. I don't know how to explain that without sounding like a crazy person myself, but put some water in the kettle before I put it back in the living room. That way I can just turn it on and go. But everything is clean and put away now. Drinking my coffee and put a candle back in place, and looks like everything is done. Here is everything I cleaned up. Better shot of my tiny counter space. David, Rose, Luke, and Baby Yoda. My cooking area. Here's my jadeite set. And my coffee station in the living room. A tea kettle, a Keurig, teas, and a painting I did behind it. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye, guys.